Hey, what's good? It's Extra Life doing a Terraria gameplay video doing a summoner only run. I'm not going to limit myself to just summoner items. I will use other items in the early game before I can get a whip or a summon. I'm not going to do a straight up challenge run, just a summoner run. I haven't focused on it before. And yeah, just going to randomize characters, see what looks good. We are going to go with Llewellyn. This playthrough did start before they announced 1.4.5's release date. They have since released that information, so we know we're going to get it near the end of the month. But yeah, Llewellyn here will be a summoner, and I will go through this run on Expert. Just going to randomize a name for the world, and the Flowering Sea of Smiles seems to be the one. So I think that's what we're going with. But yeah, just popping back into the game world, I'm just going to do some early crafting, early tree chopping, talk to Dylan, my guide, see what's cracking. Be really unimpressed with how fast this axe is. Last time I was playing Terraria, it was an in-game character. Axing is a little faster at that point, obviously. But yeah, do some tree chopping. I will also help Dylan with his first slime kill, first blood, first gel rather, the first of many. And then just getting some starter homes built. Just want to make sure that if I get enough money while I'm down in the caves that I end up getting a merchant. Oh, and there's Pinky. Pinky is a hell beast at this point in the game. Very hard to kill, especially with a short sword. I am going to basically run away from him because he is Death Incarnate. Just a giant douchebag to beat all douchebags. Yeah, here he comes again. I'm just gonna leave him alone, let him despawn. I don't care. I don't care about it that much. I'm gonna go to this cave first. This cave looks scary. It looks like it goes towards Crimson, but pulls away, so I think I'm going to keep with it. I do like finding a gem tree. Gem trees are still kind of new to me. When I started playing, they didn't exist, so they're still novel. Here I fear I've pissed off the slime, and I don't want to die to it. Not really sure why I came to a stop here, but yeah, I lingered a little bit too long, and now there's for sure slime death, so I'll bail. And back into the caves. I'm going to try the cave on the right side. Turns out it was a cave I should have done first because, yeah, there's a chest right here. So I feel a little silly, especially because this one has a boomerang in it. I did build through the first night, so I do have the star to use on making it enchanted. Fantastic early weapon. And my first chest on the way back is a step stool. Step stools are good for building the Hand of Creation later. Aside from that, they're a nice little jump boost. Nothing to be too excited about. In fact, can't be too excited because I found a war one directly after that. So I'm quite supplied on step stools. I can get up to any height I need to, apparently. And there's my first house. Sadly, nothing really cool in the chest. I'm going to go ahead and snatch that. And the furniture, very helpful for putting in boxes, I guess. I do find this shaft and decide to put a rope down it. Rope doesn't stop forever, so it seems like a huge drop. As you can see, I have upgraded to a broadsword the last time I went topside. However, this slime is going to try to kill me, but I will save myself by pixels. That was clutch, as the kids say. Clutch. In fact, I just got out of there because I didn't want to tempt fate any further. And yeah, I get put into a sticky situation. Don't really have anywhere to put a torch that I can find. Trying to put a platform under myself because I'm stuck in web, and I get killed by a bat, which is unfortunate. But hey, that's caving. A little further down, I do find this chest with a cloud in a bottle. Love that accessory. One of the best early one game accessories you can get. I'm sure I'll kill myself with that accessory, but who cares? I go up just a little bit to the left from there and find another chest. This one has the Hermes boots, and I mean, those two just being a screen away from each other is fantastic luck. And I mean, right now I'm thinking that, you know, like, I don't usually find caves like this under the house, so it's very surprising that this one's been so big and there's so much in it. And okay, that's more realistic to what I'm used to seeing from caves, unfortunately. I do find this minecart and decide to abandon it because the slime menace is going to murder me. I do find a Crimson Heart. I decided to destroy it for the gun. I'm not playing a ranger, so this doesn't do anything for me except for get me the armor dealer later. It's nice to have it. But yeah, it's going to make sure that goblins can spawn in, and that's going to be problematic later. And I've stumbled into a dead man's chest, by the looks of it. Do clear everything, just get some climbing claws, which I already have. It's not really worth it, but hey, a bunch of stuff to sell. This fairy almost gets me killed by having me fall into that pool with all the jellyfish. Unfortunately, I can double jump out. And I get a second life crystal that the fairy pointed me towards. I do snatch up this mouse right here because I am selling anything I can get my hands on, including all animals and critters. And then I find a spider biome. Spider biomes are super icky, especially early game. Not really a lot for me. I could find a stylus, but I doubt it. So I GTFO. I did bring a bucket down with some water and to grab some water. Water is always nice to have because you can craft infinite water bottles as long as you have just one tile of water somewhere. So I just usually dump it in the ground or in a wall somewhere. I did find a grav potion, so I decided it's time to go flying. Doesn't take a terribly long time, but I do end up finding my first island, and it is a sky lake, which it's fine to find a sky lake. Unfortunate because there's no chest nor a water chest, so it's kind of bad feeling. I do run out of grav potion time, so I land in my snow biome and decide, hey, why not just build a house while I'm here, get all that started. So yeah, the nurse moved in pretty quickly after I built the house, and the arms dealer followed her right away, which means that I just have to kill all these slimes, and then I can sell a bunch of stuff I have on me in order to get enough money to buy that first pylon. So pylon placed, fantastic. I didn't even have to leave the area. That's ready to go when I need it. The zoologist spawns, which means I have access to the leather whip. I do want that because it's my first legitimate weapon for the challenge, quote unquote. I am just exploring to my coastline. I do find the dungeon. I do find some living trees after that, and my finch staff shows up after I snatch a squirrel. Very nice to have a summon. Grab everything that isn't bolted down as usual. And yeah, just down the way from there, I found an enchanted sword shrine, because I absolutely don't need it. I'll grab it for the hell of it, but yeah, it's fun to find these. I do jump into the ocean, the first ocean I've gotten to. I'm just going to throw a bunch of glow sticks down my way to the edge of the screen to try to find a water chest. Kind of peeved there is no water chest on this side of the world. It's always nice to have one, and I got none, which is a bad amount to get. And I dip out before the shark kills me. I did build that second pylon, or that second pylon. I do go back to zoologist and find that I don't have nearly enough money for the leather whip, which is unfortunate. I'll build a watch while I'm here because it just happens to show up. And I decided to start going into the snow biome to try to get down to the underground ice biome because I need to get my flink staff and my flink's coat. Just doing some fun exploring here, just having to wander around, not really taking care of too much. Oh no. And I've been given a swift death. And I lose some gold. Unfortunate. I do come back after getting my gold, and I'm promptly pushed back into a deep pool and surrounded by zombies again. I neglected to get my piggy bank out and put my money away, so I wasted all that time getting back there. How fun. Yeah, so here I'm just going to try to fight some flankses. I do need to kill these in order to get, obviously, the coat and the flank staff, so it's going to take a minute to kill these guys. And when I say it's going to take a minute, it's going to take a while. In fact, I'm just going to move over and speed it up here shortly. Boomerang's nice, but it doesn't do a lot for those guys. Oh, right, my money. I did come back to kill all these guys in order to get my 3 gold back, because that's a third of the way to my whip. Just killing slimes. And then, yeah, I speed this section up. This is me fighting a couple of flankses. It doesn't go well. I kind of wish I had better weapons. Like the whip. The whip would be extremely useful right now because I can't focus my summon attacks on anything. And the finish isn't that great anyway. But yeah, after some time in game, I do get 1 kill, and I see an ice slime sliding into view on the upper right, so I decide to get the fuck out. Flink's fur coat is done, which is nice. I can put that on. And again, come back to the zoologist, and am still short the money. Oh, there's a skeleton merchant over there. He's just creeping in the corner. I pulled out my torch for just a second, and he freaked me out. I don't know what he's doing over there, but he is being creepy. But him being over here lets me see that there's a heart next to him, so that's kind of worth it. Also, I'll grab the radar and a single Spelunker glow stick. I usually like to keep the Spelunker glow stick around and use that to find ore. I accidentally threw it almost immediately, so that wasn't very helpful. And then, yeah, first Blood Moon, I'm really hoping for a Shark Tooth Necklace, or a Money Trowel. Just really want to get past the point of needing to carry around a piggy bank and place it down on platforms because I forget it or I don't have it. It's annoying. So this Blood Moon was not very fruitful. I ended up getting my guide killed. I finally have my flinxes, which is nice. I could have built those when I got back from the Blood Moon, but I was a little distracted by the Blood Moon. Catch some bugs and birds while I'm at it. Again, everything's just worth money. That all gets sold directly to the first vendor I come across. Also, when my guy died, my angler replaced him, and that's not cool. I don't want the angler there. Fortunately, I do have enough money to swap out the whip, so I finally have a summoner weapon, and I can stop using non-summoner weapons. I do feel pretty confident about things, so I believe I'm going to use the Eye of Cthulhu. I'll make a tiny little arena and see how this shakes out. No problem. This is about when I notice I have a small amount of rust with the PS4 controller. I've been primarily playing on Xbox when I've been playing Terraria recently, so I feel a little clunky, and it shows on this fight. As to be expected, I mean, everything's pretty cool until second phase. Second phase is when he actually becomes a problem. Yeah, I keep getting stuck to the platform that grapple instead of jumping through it, so the timing's just off. That was a good jump. But yeah, things are going poorly. I try running away. And murdered. It's a little discouraging, so I head westward just to see what's over this direction. I do find my jungle, and in my jungle I find this giant landmass. I think this is awesome. I very rarely see landmasses like this, so it is kind of nice to be playing a large world just that let roll gen do some weird stuff. Nothing I really need from the chest, but it's nice to grab stuff to sell. I'm over here in the Crimson just knocking down trees. I don't know why I didn't want the shade wood, but I want it. And then I get the notification telling me that I have Cthulhu's on the way, which is upsetting. And I forgot the Goblin Army notification. So my plan here was to teleport back home and to run into my cave and make it all the way down so I didn't die to Cthulhu. I could stop from spawning. That didn't go well. At all. Attempt number 2, I'm coming real close to the time where I might spawn. I figure I can get deep underground and avoid them, but I'm on a large world, so my surface is giant. And here's Eye of Cthulhu underground while I'm fighting goblins. Not great. I don't know why I keep running rather than just teleporting back and hoping he despawns. I do make it to the edge of the underground, though, so that's kind of funny. If I'd made it that far in the first place, he wouldn't have spawned. Of course, the goblin fight doesn't go well. I'm kind of frustrated there. I just run into that sorcerer over and over again and die. Of course, they've broken into my house, killed all my villagers. Things are not pleasant. Yeah, not the greatest experience. Decided to blow off some steam, run back to the jungle, and build a jungle home. And there we go. Throw up some banners that I collected while I was building the place. And I'll be back to put people in here and move things around later. It's functional. I don't think it's awesome, but it's fine. I do find a regular kite from a mob not far from there. I know the normal kites are kind of rare spawns. They're not, like, terribly rare, but, you know, very low percentage chance, so it's nice to get a regular kite. I usually just get the enemy ones. People have moved in, so there goes the jungle pylon. I do upgrade to silver tools, just to move a little faster while I'm make my way through the world. Over here ditching around in the jungle, and then I get a notification that a Cthulhu fight's going to happen, but this time I feel much more prepared for it. So I'm going to head back, grab some potions, build me a second layer to this arena. Also include like campfires, get some health regen going and not just die in terrible ways. And no sooner do I put the zombie banner down than I have Cthulhu spawns, and yeah. Another attempt at this guy. The fight is going a little slower, but I do feel a lot more maneuverable, especially with the second tier platforms. Great thing to have for early boss fight. I don't know why I'm placing down banners mid-combat. Maybe just to get easier kills on his ads. Take less damage from them, too. But yeah, we got phase 2. I do feel like the fight's going really well, and I don't think I'll have any problems with it now that I have all this maneuverability with the second tier platforms. However, a real fight's stolen from me, and this happens. I will, of course, take it. That is hilarious. That's a kill's a kill. You can't complain about that. He is dead, and that's not the way I have normally ever killed him. But yeah, that's a kill. Shield gets equipped, and I build a Magiluminescence out of the Crimtane. I do start my jungle exploration. What I'm really looking for here is, well, there's an anklet for the boots. We'll need that later. But I'm down here for, jungle spores, stingers, and vines. I'm also building a lot of doors. I did see a video with, I think it was Chippy Gaming playing with Red, the creator of the game, and he said he brings doors with him when he goes through, caves and stuff, and it is very useful because, yeah, you're the only person that can open them, and really only zombies on the surface during a blood moon can break them down. So they're effectively walls you can just run through. Very handy. I didn't catch until I was editing this that I had fallen right down next to the bound goblin, went on fighting, ignoring this dude. It was kind of funny to see how long I just ignored this dude completely. Here's where I noticed him. So, untie the dude, go to his shop. I do intend to buy the boots in the Tinker's Workshop, but I only have enough money for the boots. Tinker's Workshop will have to wait, unfortunately. Here's how I spend downtime in the jungle. If I'm low on hearts, I usually build a little area. I do this in other biomes too, but I find myself doing it in the jungle a lot because there's a lot of enemies and they hit hard. But yeah, build a fire, build a chair, I don't have a food buff on now, but that would make it better. Because on expert mode, your health regeneration is halved if you're not well fed. So it's important to have that if you want your health to regen naturally. I do find some more treasure. It's an extractator. I mean, extractators are useful. I don't end up using it through all of pre-hard mode, but it's nice to have. But yeah, here I am killing man-eaters for vines, collecting jungle spores, doing some mid-delve inventory management. Piggy banks are fantastic for this. And yeah, there's a lot of flying creatures over here, so why not go steal all their stingers from them? And the spike slime. They all drop stingers. They're all worth the time. And I'll hoover up some gold while I'm here. Fantastic. I accidentally hit my buff button, so I did use a grab potion. So I run back to do some quick inventory management. Oh, and to swap out the archaeologist hat because I found that as a vanity. Oh, right, and I have Snapthorn materials, so Snapthorn is built and equipped. And jungle pants while I'm at it. Don't really need them, they don't really match, but they are better armor. And into the sky we go to the left. Fortunately, it doesn't take long at all to find my first island on this side. Comes with a red balloon. Fantastic. And I find a second island, much higher. Definitely space layer, almost to the top of the map. That gives me the magnet. I'm not really going to use it this run. And a third sky island. Star Fury is nice, but very not needed for this playthrough. I do decide that I want to find the shimmer, so I start that now by putting a giant trench on the side of my world. The jungle side of my world, rather. There's also a crimson biome just to the east of this, so I think that'll help prevent the beach from being taken over as well. I actually ended up building a bigger trench for that right before hard mode. And while doing some exploring here, I do find my favorite of the biomes, really. I mean, it's not really a biome, but the glowing moss biomes. There's not really anything in them, there's nothing special to them, but they're pretty. Easy to explore. I happen to come out this far, and this pot has another grab potion in it. How fortuitous. I'm super proud of how hard it was for me to get up to that little area. Very good Terraria play. And I head back home to use another grav potion. I'm looking over to the left at all the potential space. I'm thinking there's probably a lot of islands over there, and then I end up going to the right instead. This takes me over the dungeon. No islands found so far, and I find a Sky Lake. Lovely. Another no sky chest. I continue on with my grav potion. It lets out while I'm at the edge of the world, so I drop back into the ocean. And back home we go. I do like this as Oasis. I figure if I'm going to have a desert home, it should be here. I do like having a nearby fishing spot, so start on the building process. And just finishing up some simple box houses. Dryad almost immediately moves in, so I'm going to start my pumpkin empire very slowly. I just want to have pumpkin pie on hand for the well-fed buff. It's a great source of food. It's not the best food, but it works well. And then the goblin spawns in, so that means I can finally get that Tinker's Workshop, get that set up at home. I don't like that the Dryad's out there in the desert, so I'm going to go ahead and give her a spot here so I can shuffle her here and move the dye trader out to the desert, because she or the Goblin was selling the pylon. So if I swap him out here, he will sell the pylon, and the Goblin likes him enough. I also like doing this at night because you can just go off screen and he teleports to the house. Insta pylon. Okay, pumpkin pie made. GPS is being built because I want to get towards my cell phone and other good info accessories. I did pass by these living trees earlier. They were between me and that snow biome. I did go over with the grav potion, but the aglet helps me make the lightning boots, which are exceptional, make me move fast. Fantastic stuff there. But Goblin Army's on the way. My merchant does come out to kick some ass. I don't know if it's going to work out for him. There are a lot of goblins, and he's losing health rapidly. As if on cue, he gets murdered. My demolitionist is also getting involved, but he has next to no health, so he also catches the L, as it were. The guy decides to come out and do some fighting. He does finally get the better idea to run inside and stay in the house. Let me do all the fighting. But yeah, the smoke clears, everything's fine. I do end up going to a sky island. Ow, that dandelion hit me in the face. But I did stop by another sky island with the grav potion. Ended up picking up the horseshoe. So I was able to make the horseshoe balloon. This is the start of my herb farm right here. This is all just temporary. I just have this all out by spawn because it's convenient. And then some planted herbs. I also built a potion crafting station just beneath all that. Just need a bottle on a table, or any flat surface, really. And the stairway has confounded me too often, and I'm going to switch it around. So we'll just speed build this real quick. Fantastic. And that is done. I don't ever have to run out and get caught up in that top room again. I just finished switching out all the torches for jungle torches. I do like using correct biome torches. I am making my way into the Crimson to do some fighting of the Brain of Cthulhu. And then I realize on the way in that I can actually go and make the slime crown. And then on my way in, I also find Abigail's flower. I'm not going to use Abigail. She might be good in early hard mode, but I think my flanks are fine now. Start the arena building. You know, let the flanks get in some fighting on their own. I'm not going to whip this guy. I'm going to see how the flanks do, get their confidence up or something. Here we go. Heart Lantern up. Everything's ready for Brain. I already blew up that one heart, so I only have these two, and they're already right next to each other. And the boss fight is upon us. I don't expect much trouble. Brain of Cthulhu is a pretty easy fight. Even an expert, I don't think I should have much of a problem here. Feeling pretty good. Feeling really good, actually. And yeah, getting through first phase with barely any damage taken. I have pretty good armor. Phase 2 is starting, so just need to pay attention to where my minions are fighting, and this shouldn't be a difficult fight at all. The way he moves in relation to you is kind of it is random-ish, but like each time he changes, it's a different pattern combined with how you move. But really, he's easy enough to avoid. I mean, it's not like the legendary version of him where it's upside down and backwards. That's a nightmare, whatever that is. But yeah, this guy is dead. We don't have to worry about him anymore. And I have the tissue samples, which I need for advanced crafting. I do decide to try to fight him again and blow up another 2 hearts. Unfortunately, there are no more hearts down either other tunnel connected to this guy, so that is kind of a letdown. I will grab the loot, though. And yeah, why not fight King Slime? Why we still have the buffs? That's my thought process. Hell yeah, King Slime already looking dead. And putting more banners out in the middle of boss fights. I should stop at some point, but it is handy, especially when the boss creates those mobs. Also, I haven't pointed it out yet, but this run has had a lot of meteor shower nights, so I've had a lot of stars. I mean, that's why, obviously, Eye of Cthulhu died the way he did, so I don't have a problem with it, and it's fun to have a lot of stars. I just don't need them, and it's funny that I'm getting so many meteor shower nights so early. It's very unusual. And then I decide to fight him a second time, so I'll speed that up. And he's dead again. And here I think, well, you know what? I still have buffs. Might as well fight Skeletron with no preparation. I mean, he's just Skeletron. But I have buffs. Not a problem. Spoiler, this does not go. The lack of an arena is really hurting me here. Having to fly back and forth around this one structure is not doing it, to say the least. Do get a meteorite coming in. That's fancy. But yeah, the frequent skeleton bitch slaps are starting to take their toll on me, unfortunately. Little shame that star didn't hit him. Could have been tremendous help. As you can see, the star's blanketing the battlefield. Like I said, a lot of meteor showers. This night was one of them. Extremely discouraging that he still has both of his hands by the looks of it. Oh no, it's just one, but yeah, he doesn't seem like he's losing any effectiveness, and I'm about to die to at least one hand. Post-mortem. But yeah, if I had the platforms, I had a shot at him. Not a super better shot, but, you know, probably would have helped. I do waste a lot of money to the Goblin Tanker to do some looting in the jungle. I'm actually looking for a... What's the rod? Rod of Regeneration? Do end up finding the seaweed. I mean, that's pretty rare. Getting that cute little turtle guy's awesome. You will be replaced at some point. And yeah, here's me relaxing off low health. The chill way. You know, put up a fire, sit down, take a load off. And the staff of regrowth. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So here is when I noticed that I actually don't have my piggy bank on me, so I don't have space to take this. I do have to go back and find it. And yeah, Axe of Regrowth is probably the best axe you can have for the entire game, so I'm going to equip this, and this axe will be my axe for the entire game. I might replace it with something for faster harvesting later, but the fact that this replants trees for you and lets you get more herbs and seeds is just an incredible item. Get it as early as you can. I do come here to see if the zoologist has any mounts. She doesn't. So I try out some teleportation potions, and after putting me on the surface, it dumps me in a cave in the middle of nowhere, and this is exactly where I want to be. So let's see what I find. So what ends up happening is I find a lot of caves full of water on my way down to the lava, and yeah, I end up taking all this water down the way to the lava. I mean, I find the barkeep on the way. Innkeeper, rather. So we'll just go ahead and sell him some crap and deal with housing him another time. I almost died of this boulder by running over it. And yeah, as you can see, here's the water rushing down to turn the lava into obsidian. I'm going to gather a lot of obsidian in this process. Down there I do see the undead miner. Undead miner, I do want all of his drops. I really want the bone pickaxe most. I say I want the mining helmet, but you can actually buy that from the... I don't need it from him, but I do expect that he'll drop it for me, even though he probably won't. But yeah, I killed the set, which is nice. Doesn't suck to have. Speeding up your mining is always good. Yep, just funneling more water into lava, turning it all into obsidian. To this, really. As you can see, I made a decent way down. I mean, it's a large world, after all. Found my first magic mirror, very handy. And we're go ahead and buy a stack of bone torches from him, just because I love the aesthetic. So I'm sure he's going to drop me that bone pickaxe. Unfortunately, all he drops is the other part of the mining set, which is not bad. Trap, so up goes a wall here, just so I don't have to deal with it. Hell. Underworld, rather. Do some die, so here we go. I'm going to use a campfire, the heat of hell, just to take a load off and regain some health. Funny how hell, but whatever. I do find a little bit of hellstone, and I do have the evil pickaxe, so I will go ahead and pick some up. Not snag a hellforge while I'm here, just to have it. And yeah. But I don't like it. I'll keep the archaeologist hat. It looks way cool. Oh yeah, the obsidian set. I can build the obsidian. Is the last one in pre-hard mode. Kind of skipped the B set entirely. It just kind of happened like that. I found a bunch of obsidian before I actually found a beehive that I could farm. So there's that equipped. Fantastic. Looks super cool. I've never actually worn this before, this playthrough. And I'm just minding my own business, gathering herbs when another goblin army gets queued up. Boy. This results in my demolitionist dying, which is kind of expected. I do build this shaft down the middle of my jungle into my jungle housing. There's a bunch of my tunnels down here that connect, but they're way under my base, so I decided I'm just going to build them here. I do find this cool house with the skeleton spawner. No great loot or anything, but the skeleton spawner is cool. And here we go, relaxing again, as I often do. That's what the jungle's for, just immaculate vibes while you're hanging out. And another lava trap. I do think they're really funny, because like every time you trigger one, you're like, oh, that was obviously a lava trap, but you never see them, really, unless you catch the pressure plate, which... Oh, I actually didn't die to that explosive. I do find a beehive. This is actually what my shaft down from under the jungle house is meant to get to a lot faster, because it was very far down. I did find a mystic frog and was able to purify it because the dryad's right up there. And a bee fight starts. Queen bee is not too bad, especially an expert. He's got a couple dashes to contend with, and then the rest of it's pretty dodging. I do love that this fairy is just floating around me and ignoring the queen bee trying to murder me. Just completely unbothered. Oh yeah, the Crimson Cloud. I am using that because it says it's a summon in the item description. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's technically summon damage, but it says it's a summon, so I'm using it. Who cares? It's like a little bit of damage. But yeah, with or without the assistance of the Crimson Cloud, the Queen Bee falls, and the fairy fucks off the moment I do, which is weird timing. I do build a Hornet Staff just to try it out. And I'm back to try my hand at the Skeletron fight. Super pumped up for this one, ready to go, ready to kill this guy. I've built a proper arena, I've got it lit. This guy is going to regret the day he crossed me. Just kidding, I get juggled and killed in about a minute. It wasn't even fair. Didn't have a chance. Yeah, no, I didn't buff. I don't think that would have mattered. I just made some bad decisions. I do have the angler set up on the coastline, but I can't get anyone to like him enough to sell a pylon, so I'm going for the golfer. Thankfully, I find him pretty close to the surface. I have some wacky luck here because I find a mandible blade right there, which is somewhat rare. Not like incredibly rare. But then I get another mandible blade right there. And yeah, I finally come across a chest, and it's an ancient chisel. Fantastic find. Shortly after that, I kill something and find a legendary mandible blade, which gives me 3 in a few minutes, which is crazy. I do pick up the magic conch from the next chest. Lovely pickup. Since it's night, I can go ahead and spawn the golfer here, and he likes the angler enough to actually sell a pylon, so I can get over here a lot quicker. Alright, come here to pick up another piggy bank because someone lost my last one. I am exploring this underground desert, and I do find this railway into the underground ice biome. I don't ever go back there. I do find this bass statue over here. Chest loot isn't great, but the bass statue's nice. I do accidentally pick up this encumbering stone, and I fall victim to it when I think my inventory is full, and I get confused until, I realize. Oh yeah, it's the encumbering stone. I'm so silly. I do find my first glowing mushroom biome, which actually ends up being almost directly under my house. I just didn't go down far enough. It has an amazing set of loot. Nothing I didn't really have at the early game that I wanted, but it's funny that it's so close. But yeah, I figure I will end this on Torch God. I do love biome torches. All biomes look better with their appropriate torches. The glow just makes it all look very colorful and magical. But yeah, don't have a lot of hard mode or pre-hard mode left. Just some fishing and building to get out of the way. A little bit of light exploration. Everything else is basically done. So we'll just get this Torch God fight out of the way. But yeah, please feel free to like, follow, subscribe, what have you. Follow up for this video will be out at an appropriate time and not take years like the gap between my last video. So yeah, I already have most of this recorded. But yeah, that is a Torch God fight. And here we have Torch God's Paper. Fantastic.